didn't bring extra clothes, didn't think about it, and it was miserable.
Yes.
So for her to come back, and I promised her we would have air conditioning, that's why, you know, I got it down to where we could hang meat in here, because I didn't want her to sweat.
And I
But
didn't
it-
bring my kids, that was a bad idea, but it's that hot, so.
Well, yeah, she did have her children. Stacey's Mid-America is life honoree. And I'm not gonna really go into the story because she's going to go into it, but I hope that when you hear her talk, that you feel very proud of what you do. Because Stacey would not have the life she has today if it wouldn't have been for an agent that was in her life that impacted her and her family. So Stacey, and also we did a printout here of Stacey's story. I don't want you to read it now, but I would really like you to share it with your team, because I think sometimes your team misses the impact they have on clients, because they do. They have just as much impact as you do. So I'm not gonna say anymore. I'm gonna let Stacey tell her story, okay? Thank you, Stacey.
I'm gonna apologize if I talk really fast. I've had a lot of coffee. My mom turned 65 yesterday, so we were out a little late celebrating for that, and I got up really early this morning, so I'll try to talk slow. As Priscilla said, my name is Stacey Grieshop. I live in Salina, Ohio, which is about 2.5 hours north somewhere up here. I was the Embrace Life honoree a couple years ago. I'm sure you're aware they're not continuing that program right now, so I'm really honored to be one of the last ones. Hopefully they will do that again. I'm very honored to be here. I'd like to share my story so that you'll not only learn about the disease that took my husband's life, but that you'll believe in what you do and that you'll continue to impact lives in a profound way. I'll start off and just give you a little bit of timeline with where we were with our insurance. In January of 2004, we had asked our insurance agent to meet with us. We had decided that we were going to lower my husband's policy to save some money, and we really had made up our minds at that point. There was no talking us out of it. The agent came to our house, he spoke with us, he really tried hard to get us to listen, and you know, we were both really young. I'm still really young, but he didn't convince us, and we lowered his policy $100,000 lower than what it was. We did that because you never think when you're young that the unthinkable is going to happen, but it does. 3 months later, we learned I was pregnant with our second child. We were overjoyed with the news. We had a boy. He was very young. 4 months after that, my husband got out of his family business. The same insurance agent came to our home, and he informed us at that time that there was a policy with the family business that he had shared with his brother, encouraged us to continue that policy, and it was in effect till like January the next year, and it wasn't going to cost anything. So luckily we did. He encouraged us to make me the beneficiary. Luckily we did. On September 13th, we were on our way to an ultrasound appointment. We stopped at our attorney's office. We signed our wills. We went to the doctor's appointment that day. We found out we were having a girl, which we were really excited about. Doug really wanted a girl. We named her on the way home. He decided he was going to be the godfather, which, okay, you know, he asked him that day, which was a little premature to me, but luckily he did. And on September 19th of 2004, we celebrated Doug's 33rd birthday. The next morning, we got up for work as we normally did. I'll tell you a little story. We had a Buckeye bus. We still have it. He had bought an old school bus at an auction, and I thought it was crazy. But we got it. We reconditioned it, and it's now our tailgate bus. It's really awesome. But so we had a lot of things to look forward to. He was out that morning in the driveway at like 5:30 blaring the music. We had speakers on the outside, and I woke up, I'm 5 months pregnant, and I am mad because I'm woken up now and I'm thinking the whole neighborhood is woken up. And I went out there and I said, turn it down. And probably used a few other words I can't say, but we laughed, we joked, he kind of slapped me on the butt, and I went in the house a little angry and went to work. And about 10:30, my father called me at work. Doug was working for my dad at the time doing some construction, and he said, are you sitting down? And he said, Doug had a heart attack. So I rushed home and waited till my parents and my brother picked me up, and we went to the hospital. Only to find out that Doug had actually passed away. I did not get to tell him goodbye. I just shared I was, really not happy with him that morning. And I didn't tell him I loved him. But at that moment, I promised Doug that his life would not go in vain, that his life would go on in a beautiful way, and that I would take care of our children, and that they would grow up to embrace life just as he had done, and that they would see the beauty in life just as he had. I promised him that they would know how much he loved them, and that by putting life insurance in place, he was protecting their futures, even if he wasn't physically there to show them. Because of his love, they would one day understand that they were able to go to college and they didn't have to watch their mother struggle to care for them financially. Could you imagine had we not had life insurance? Because I can't. And I actually, after Doug's death, went back to work and a couple weeks later and talked to all my coworkers who were quite a bit younger than me at the time, and I was amazed that only one person out of 10 in my office had life insurance. And I really encouraged them that they needed to talk to an agent and get life insurance in place. Because obviously I'm the perfect example that the unthinkable happens. The day after Doug's death, the coroner called me very early in the morning and informed me that Doug did not have a heart attack. He passed away from a genetic condition called a bicuspid aortic valve. It's the same condition that took John Ritter's life, the actor. We did not know that Doug had this condition. He had been 15 months prior, for almost the entire 15 months before, to the hospital with headaches, to the doctor thinking he's having a heart attack. They misdiagnosed him with anxiety, put him on Paxil, sent him home. It's that very reason that I'm doing what I'm doing today. Because had we known, who knows, he may be here. It is treatable if you know. Apparently a cousin had the condition. They did not share that with family. I'm sure that had we gone to the hospital and I'd known, I would have probably said, hey, I don't know if it matters, but this is what it is. So I feel very strongly that the word needs to get out there. What had actually happened that morning is Doug was on a job site, his aorta ruptured, and that was it. When you have that condition or any type of dissection in your aorta, it's about a 2% survival rate, so there really was little that could be done at that point. Cardiologists missed it, neurologists missed it. In fact, at one point they said he had West Nile virus. Crazy, but because of that, I organized a fundraiser. I found a foundation online called the Bicuspid Aortic Foundation, and I contacted them and I shared Doug's story, and have since become sort of their poster child and done a lot of fundraising for them and gotten the word out. We've raised over $25,000 since Doug's death. The first 3 years we did garage sales. If you ever want to have a really nice garage sale, call me, because I know how to make you a lot of money. But the last 2 years, we have not had the fundraiser. It's just been really busy with my children. But I just can't stress to all of you enough how important it is to have that difficult talk with your clients, I know it's hard. I know you go in there and somebody's young and you think, you know, they're gonna fight me on this. They don't think they need it, but you really need to stress to them, you can share my story. It's important that they have life insurance. It's really been humbling to be a part of the Embrace Life program. I'm proud of the jobs that all of you do. And I hope that you continue to touch people's lives in an important way. Priscilla said it right. I mean, you know, we need car insurance, we need life insurance, and we need home insurance, but the life insurance to me, if that's the only thing you sell to somebody, you've done more than your job. In closing, I would like to leave you with some words to live by. It's not how much you accomplish in life that really counts, but how much you give to others. It's not how high you build your dreams that make a difference, but how high your faith can climb. It is not how many goals you reach, but how many lives you touch. It's not who you know that matters, but who you are inside. Believe in the impossible, hold tight to the incredible, and live each day to its fullest potential. You can make a difference in your world. And I hope that every one of you, when you go out on your jobs, make a difference in the world and talk to your clients. Thank you.
Yeah.